Hi, this is Greg Ellers. Glad to have you back. We are in part two of getting to meet the hosts of Now Media, and I'm fortunate to be here with Hillary Bailey, Chris Nudo, and Kim Dymond. In the first segment, we got to get a little bit of a lens of each and every one of what their shows are about, how they got here. In this next segment, we're going to give you the ability to understand how they think about putting a show together. What's the message that they're trying to share with you? When you finish watching or listening to their show, what do they want you to get out of what they've given you today? Because they put a lot of work into this. This is at Now Media, our culture is a little bit different. We do a lot of that work ourselves. We don't have big staffs to be able to put things together. We do it ourselves, and there's a lot of work involved, and it's a lot of passion, which in today's world is something that sometimes is hard for people to be able to understand how important that passion is to the people that are delivering it because it's coming to you live. So, Hillary, talk to us a little bit about people that you're going to have on your show. What is the messaging? You think about it, you meet me, and you're like, well, I'd like to have you on my show. What would it be about the guests that you have? What's the message you're trying to provide? Every show's obviously not the same, but there's a thematic that you have in terms of your messaging. What is that? What can the audience expect when they tune in to watch your show?
They're going to learn something. Senior care encompasses so much. Anything that they learn that day, I want that, like we talked about in the first segment, to calm whatever fear they may have. And that's going to be different for everyone, right? So for my first, my second show, I had on a cardiologist, and we talked, I used some questions that I've been asked in the past from, some of my clients about blood pressure and heart attacks and this and that, because there's so much information on the internet. You can go on Google and give yourself cancer in about 2 minutes, giving it all your symptoms and telling them what's going on. So it's
You can't
definitely
get your
education,
doctorate on Google. I thought you could. I thought that's where I got my doctorate, Hillary. That's those aren't applicable.
No, please don't. No, no, no. Please don't Google your symptoms. So having people that are experts in their fields, cardiologists, urologists. I've had someone, with Medicare insurance. It's just about educating, and it's not just educating the senior; it's educating their whole family, like people my age. Like today, I mean, Chris, he's going to be a guest on my show today, and yeah, we're going to be talking about medical power of attorneys, but that has to do with somebody from that just got married that's 20 to someone that's 80 who needs someone to take care of them. And I will tell you, there's just a lot of people out there that they don't know, people don't know what they need until it's time and they need it and their piney's on fire. Excuse my language, but it's, we've got to have it now. So what I want people to feel after they've watched my show is like, oh, okay. So when that comes up for me, when mom starts to exhibit these symptoms, or when I need to start doing these things for my parents, they know what to do and how to do it. I want them to be able to leave with actionable steps to take the fear out of the things they need to do.
That's really good. It's planning that period in life is it's something it's easy to procrastinate on, isn't it? It's easy not to make those decisions or to ask people to do those things. So I think that understanding and learning that, as I mentioned before, my generation is moving towards being your biggest client base, right? If we aren't already. So there's a lot of those decisions that need to be made. So Chris, you kind of fall into this bucket here. Tell us a little bit about your show and the types of people you like to have as guests on your show from the standpoint of the messaging on that continuum element. Are they people that are the second generation that have seen it? Are they the people that are still the first generation utilizing your services? How does that work for you, Chris? What's that process for you in terms of not only your guests but the message?
So the message we're really trying to portray is one of relatability. None of us are perfect, we all have our flaws, our regrets, our vulnerabilities, the things that scare us, the things where we're comfortable. And it's really getting to know a person at such a level where we uncover those root elements of the person. What are the things that scare them? Greg, we've heard just the things since this show's been running that scare you. What are the things that make you vulnerable and are your imperfections that honestly are not your failures, but they were the steps, they were the building blocks that make you who you are today and define you as a person. And those are the kind of people we really like to have on the show. Ones that can tell a story about, yes, I made this decision, but in light of that decision, the path that I've walked and the roads that I've gone down have led me to this journey that defines me who I am today. And from there, I've developed my values, I've developed my core sense, and that's who I want to pass on to my kids, to my grandchildren, just to the next generation.
No, that makes sense. It's I heard, and I think it's widely used, but I heard it the other day from somebody. You know, in your life, you want to live a life that when you get to the end, you want to buy a ticket and watch the movie.
That's right.
And what I am hearing from you is you might have to put some of that on the cutting room floor, but you want to make sure that there's elements of that get to the next generation, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And Kim, I as I said, and the audience knows, you've been a host on my show, so we've talked a lot about specific elements of business that are your passion and where you've been. But share with the audience a little bit about your guests. Share with our audience a little bit about the message that when they watch your show, they are able to say, "Wow, that was really helpful," and how you think about that.
Okay. Well, I've had various individuals, such as yourself and some other business leaders, as well as some health experts, some tax experts. So we generally go down the path of how a person is coping and dealing. So most of the time on the show, of course, the human factor in my background, we have individuals on there that come from businesses, and they want to understand how they can build a better, stronger culture based on today's environments. Usually it's relative to workforce. We want to see how people are reacting and help them with building better, stronger teams, as well as an individual going to a position or a job and having more confidence and relatability in understanding their career path. So there are various conversations we have on my show, but I think they all focus around how to improve the culture within the workforce and within the individual. So how does the individual fit in, and what is going on with them in these various scenarios? I mean, I have a tax expert, Joe Reyes, where we talk about how organizations prepare and how does that chaos of preparing the taxes for the organization sometimes even take away from the employees because they're in stress mode, right? So everything is focused on that task. So it's all about how we cope and build those strong relationships, I think, within the workforce, and how do we manage those teams and build those better relationships overall based on each human element, not just a leader, not just an employee.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and the word that you used there in the end, relationships. It's a challenge because of, and it's easy to always have a what about or a because or a qualifier, but reality is, whether it's from work from home, technology, etc., relationships atrophy and those skills for relationship atrophy. And that's something that you have firsthand experience at with what's gone on in the last 5 years, Kim. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's
Absolutely.
not uncommon, or it wasn't uncommon, for people to work in their pajamas or not be in a professional level of attire. And now the whole doggone thing, which drives me nuts, when you have video calls and they don't even turn on their cameras. It's like you're not showing any real respect for the relationship that we're either trying to have or the relationship that we have. And all of that, for me, becomes a huge professional turnoff. I can't deal with that, but at the same time, I know that there's value in those people, right? But since they're not in the office and I can't say, hey, Kim, come on into my office. Look, if we're going to have a meeting, you're going to turn your camera on, you're going to be prepared, right? Those types of things are harder to do because
Yes.
you're in different geographical locations, or you've got different work, quote unquote, work-life balance that the company is utilizing to be able to keep people in place. So it's pretty hard. And I want to get in on the next block with all of you, because each of you are facing or dealing with people that are facing specific challenges in how to keep that message going for you, Chris, to the next generation, or for Hillary, for you to be able to communicate with people, because I elicit signs of dementia or something else, or I need aftercare, whatever it is. But those are relationships, and those relationships get challenged in different stressors for different elements. And I think that all of you have shared something with the audience about your shows that are important, and hopefully it's given our audience a better lens into who you are and your message. So when we come back on the next block, we'll deal with some of those challenges. We're going to cut away to our sponsors. We appreciate your time. Thank you.